Hotel security in Tel Aviv says, quote, Amber and her girlfriend were staying at our hotel when neighbors began to complain about the noise coming from their room. We ran upstairs and the door was ajar. We heard glass breaking and Amber yelling something along the lines of, "You support so-and-so."
Amber Heard has just been spotted beating someone again, and this time you're not going to believe who it is. Amber and her precious defender and lover, Eve Barlow, were caught having a blowout fight in a hotel in Tel Aviv. According to reports, Eve got beaten badly, even sustaining a black eye. Fans are shocked at the news, and many are wondering what really went down. What could have led the precious couple to fight? And could this mean the end of their relationship? Months have passed since Amber lost the defamation case to Johnny and was exposed for physically harming him on multiple occasions. And here she is wrapped up in yet another physical altercation, this time directed towards another lover of hers, Eve. As you may be aware, Eve and Amber were spotted in Tel Aviv, Israel around the time rumors of their intense relationship were circulating. Apparently, Amber, who had been claiming bankruptcy, had gone on a vacation with Eve and her daughter Una and was even considering staying in Israel to escape the court verdict. However, it seems like things weren't as rosy for the couple in Israel as we had all thought. Eve first gained some sort of public recognition after she was kicked out of the courtroom during the trial for breaking court rules. She is known as Amber's knight in shining armor, and even the four walls of the court were not enough to hold her down, and she was constantly tweeting against everyone from Johnny Depp to his legal team to his friends and family to the judge who presided over the case, and she even didn't leave the court stenographer from her online attacks. After the defamation case ended with Amber being fined to pay Johnny $10 million in damages, Amber and her girlfriend, Eve, were spotted in Israel having the time of their lives. But while in Israel, it seems like something unexpected happened as the couple were caught in a blowout fight where security had to be called in. According to the hotel security in Tel Aviv, Amber and her girlfriend were staying at our hotel when neighbors began to complain about the noise coming from their room. We ran upstairs and the door was ajar. We heard glass breaking and Amber yelling something along the lines of, "You support so-and-so." Apparently, when they rushed in, the shorter woman with brown hair, who was presumably Eve, ran to the corner and cowered. They went on to say that Amber immediately ran to the bathroom and wrapped her hand up in a bandage. She told us to get out as she's a paying customer, and that's when the woman cowering in the corner made her run for the door. The situation de-escalated, so we just left. And apparently, when they went through security cameras, a topless Amber was seen dragging Eve back into her room. From the sound of things, it seems they were arguing because Eve was in support of someone who was not in Amber's good books. Many are speculating that it was Kate Moss, whom Eve was enamored with. Anyone who has been following the drama knows that Eve has been a huge fan of Kate Moss for many years. She even posted about having a giant poster of Kate in her room. I have an enormous portrait of Kate Moss hanging in my kitchen. She has been my hero since I was about 9 years old. My account was reported to Twitter for hate speech and has not been removed because this was a compliment about heroin chic, which was an actual fashion moment. There were also other tweets of Eve fangirling over Kate, posting things like "Happy Kate Moss Day." She even tweeted about Kate being perfect. This is the same Kate who was in a relationship with Johnny and who Amber called a rando and insulted during the trial after she defended him. Amber had accused Johnny of pushing Kate down the stairs.
I don't hesitate, I don't wait, I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs.
But Kate came to his rescue, denying that she was never pushed but rather assisted by him.
Did Mr. Depp push you in any way down the stairs?
No. And there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room, I slid down the stairs and I hurt my back. He came running back to help me and carried me to my room.
And when Kate finally testified, Amber said, "I know how many people will come out of the woodwork to be in support of Johnny. It's clear from this courtroom how many people will do that. Everybody who was around in the nitties knew that rumor. I had heard that rumor from multiple people. Of course, that's what flashed through my head when my husband not only swam for me, but all of a sudden swam for my sister. Of course I thought of that. I didn't expect her to show up or not show up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change what I believed at the time when we were on the stairs. So it would make sense that Amber would be upset with Eve for supporting Kate." And barely days after she was allegedly attacked by Amber, a photo surfaced of Eve with a dark eye. We can all imagine where that came from. The entire drama was super messy because, on one hand, no one really knows if this information is true as it hasn't been verified by a reliable source. On the other hand, it doesn't seem completely impossible, and Eve came out to speak about it. In a tweet, she hinted that no such incident ever happened. "I will never relent from defending the truth and standing by Amber Heard. This is sick and debilitating. It's enough to ruin a person's life and livelihood and contribute to irreparable irreparable damage to one's mental and physical health. Caveat emptor. But could this really be true? From what we know about their relationship, Eve is ready to do anything for Amber, even defend her even when Amber is in the wrong. She has been cited doing things to appease Amber, like cutting her food for her and even dealing with all her obligations like legal duties and PR.
You hope that people understand that you have a human heart and a soul and that you have your own life. And what I'm finding so difficult to digest at the moment is this kind of loose awareness I have in the few moments I have between dealing with legal or dealing with PR or dealing with just helping Amber not feel like she wants to kill herself.
In a podcast called Sod's Law Podcast, Eve also mentioned how she had been trying to stop Amber from unaliving herself. So as you can see, Eve seems to be really active in Amber's life, but it seems like all the compassion wasn't enough to stop Amber from allegedly hurting her. A lot of people actually said that they wouldn't be surprised if the footage of Amber beating someone was actually real because it wouldn't be the first time. And although the image seems quite blurry and there's no actual footage of the event, we can't really put the allegations past Amber, as this is something she is capable of. From the many allegations and evidence of Amber actually committing DV against Johnny, which even caused him to lose a finger, to all the other allegations from her exes, like the one of Gia, who was pimped off and drugged by Amber on multiple occasions. Gia's story was particularly interesting because, according to Jessica Reed, who narrated it, Gia had been drugged by Amber so much that she was scared for her life. And apparently, Elon, who was somehow in the mix, was also afraid for Gia's life and begged her to stay away from Amber. Amber is now rather infamous when it comes to DV. From a look at her previous relationships, we can see the number of times she was accused of DV. It can't be a coincidence, right? For instance, when she was in a relationship with Tazia Van Ree, she was detained on charges of DV. Apparently, she had gotten into an argument with Tazia at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. One thing led to another, and Amber was taken into custody and spent the night in jail for laying hands on her. Also, during the defamation trial, Johnny testified that when they argued, Amber would always find the need to resort to being aggressive. And these particular incidents weren't just hearsay, as these claims were supported by evidence, so they were not bogus at all. There was also evidence that Amber was physical with her own sister, Whitney, in the past. Apparently, there was a video taken from a reality TV show recorded between 2006 and 2007 of Amber laying hands on her sister. In the clip, Whitney was in the company of a group of friends who noticed the bruises on her and asked her about it. Apparently, she had gotten into an altercation with Amber and was beaten up. Johnny also said in the Virginia trial that to the best of his recollection, Whitney was always Amber's punching bag or the recipient of rather ugly and demeaning words. So if Amber could be aggressive to her sister, her husband, and her ex-girlfriend, who is Eve Barlow, Eve seemed really upset about all the rumors and said that she just couldn't understand how people could make judgments about their relationship when they didn't even know them.
I'm like, you don't even know this. Like, you don't know me and you don't know her. You don't know our relationship. Like, it's really got it's nothing to do with anyone. It's just got nothing to do with this.
Fans had a lot to say about the news. Many are saying that Amber is out of control and can't even uphold the fake persona she has been displaying. She just can't help herself, even when she's waging war for an appeal for a trial, during which she lied so much she can't even hold up the fake victim facade long enough to get out of the court before she goes back to her old ways. What a real piece of work. As for Eve, I can't say I feel bad for her. She stuck out her chest and swore up and down on Amber's innocence, despite all the evidence of her guilt. Now she's being rewarded for her time and effort. Seriously, what made her think she was special? Others weren't surprised and said that they saw it coming. Someone commented, "Saw this coming." The reason I've decided to hate Eve Barlow is because she's been around Amber long enough to know the truth and has decided to defend her anyway. Not just defend her, but go out on the offense attacking people and content creators who don't agree with her. But what do you think? Do you believe that Amber actually hit Eve? And do you think Eve will ever be free of Amber? If you thought this video was messy, then you definitely don't want to miss out on this next one.